deal, Bucks Nation, man? Thank y'all for tuning in. Just Boys Sports back at y'all. Shout out to all y'all residing in Bucks County, Fear, the Deer Lane. I'm just going to review the first 3 games of our Bucks 2021 season on a quest to repeat as NBA champs. We're currently sitting at 2-1. First game we took on the Brooklyn Nets. This game right here, even though we have the saga with Kyrie Irving, which is one of my favorite players, by the way. Shout out Duke Blue Devils. Man, that dude played 9-10 games as a freshman and went number 1 in the draft. So, I've always been a fan of Kyrie, man. But back to the Bucks Nation, man. They can say what they want about this win, man. They want to say, oh, last year in the playoffs, how Harden wasn't healthy and Kyrie Irving wasn't playing. All right, Kyrie ain't playing this game either. So we don't know what Kyrie's doing, man. But we're not going to keep taking these scenarios or the backlash because this team wasn't healthy. This team didn't have all their players. Man, listen. Forget all that, man. We got this dub, got this victory, man. And it came against one of the best scorers ever, man. Maybe top 10 ever with Kevin Durant. He finished the game with 32 points, 3 for 7 for 3, 13-25 for his field goal made in attempts, and he had 11 rebounds, man. So you can tell he's it looks like he prioritized rebounding in that in the off season. And I think, man, just going forward, man, we know what we get from KD, man. We know he's gonna get the rebound. Sometimes he's going to push the rock, and he's going to come down and get his own shot. Harden finished with 20 points. He shot 4 from 8 from 3. You know what he does, rebounds and assists as well. He had 8 of each, and he shot 6 or 16 from the field. It's the thing with me is that this victory for me, man, it just made us a little bit more hype as far as our defense. The defense it started out well early on. I remember last year we had moments where the defense was lackluster or was inconsistent, and I think even though they had 100 points, man, 104 points is equivalent to 80, 90 points back in the 90s. So I think that was a main emphasis in the preseason and training camp was to get back on that defensive side. As far as the grit and the focus, and I think that segues clearly into the appearance and emergence of Grayson Allen, another Duke legend. Now with Grayson Allen, man, what he brings, it was kind of shocking to me because what's not shocking actually. Once I seen we acquire him, I kind of figured he was going to be a starting 2 guard, even if Dante was healthy. Which, in my opinion, when Dante comes back from the injury or the healing process with the surgery, I still think Grayson he's going to remain starting, mainly because the defense and offense. Like for me, I seen an article where they were like basically saying Dante was better on the offensive end. To me, I think he's better on the defensive end, and I think it was times where his offensive game was inconsistent. And that's why I think we are going to thrive more with Grayson Allen because he can play make, he can shoot, he can score, and he can play defense. And even though he had skeptical plays his whole career on the defense end as far as college and NBA, where he had some dirty plays and things of that nature, but I think with just that attitude, that focus, not so much of the dirty plays, but just that intensity and that focus on defense, I think he's going to keep our consistency where it needs to be. You won't see too many games where this player is going off or that player is going off. At least he's going to put that effort in. I think that's why he's going to remain the starter. Holiday missed some of the game with an injury. He finished with 12 points, 5 for 7 from the field. And, Giannis 32 and 14, 7 assists. Giannis is going to ball, man. Giannis is going to ball out. And just him polishing up that offensive game is just going to give everybody terror. And I'm not ready to I know I'm ready to see it, but it's gonna be teams that are not ready to see him play on that level. So shout out to Giannis, man. We know that you balled in regular season, and we know that you balled in training camp, and just to not be lazy in the off season, and still be focused with that Mamba mentality, man. Sorry about that. And Middleton finished with 20 points. He also had 9 boards, 1 for 4 from 3. So that put us at 1-0. And then we won against the Heat. And this game got me completely nervous. Only because I feel like the Heat, no matter what, no matter who's on their team, no matter who's on the other teams in the Eastern Conference, I think this might be our biggest threat. And it proves me right, man, every time. 2 years ago, they beat us in the conference finals. And then last year, we ended up beating them in the playoffs. It's just Bam Adebayo, man. He's just, it's hard because he's just as physical as Giannis. And for the most part, he can defend Giannis. Not gonna say by himself, but he can defend him well. And Giannis finished this game with 15 points, 10 boards, 4 from 11. So he only took 11 shots. So that just tells me that we just have some more work to do when it comes to getting out of our conference and making sure that we're the best team in the East. And when you have games like this, when you're losing by 40 plus points, and after you just beat the Nets, there's no excuse, man. You know what I mean? So for me, it just makes us as fans to not to get complacent, not get too high. We got to stay level, one game at a time. So it's a long season, I know, and this is going to be, we're back to the 82 game stretch. So it's going to be a lot of games like this where we're not focused or anything or stuff like that, but we got to handle Miami games better. We can't come out lackluster like this, because we might see this team in the playoffs later on, and they're going to remember the first time they played us, they put up 40 points. So it just looks like we just couldn't do much. Their defense really stifled us, and we only had 95 points. So whether it's, I don't see, for me, I can't really, I ain't gonna say disregard, but I can't give flack to Coach Bud. He proved that he's definitely one of the top coaches in this game. So for me, man, I'm not gonna blame the loss on him or say he could have done this, made this adjustment, etc. I'm just gonna say it was just effort. It was an effort game, man, and I feel like we just came out lazy, and they took advantage of us, and they killed us on the offense. And Tyler Hero off the bench had 27, and then they still had 20 apiece from Bam and Jimmy. They're just going to be a solid team, man. They had PJ. They're going to be a solid team, man. They know how to defend Giannis, especially PJ. He spent several moments with him last year, so I feel like, man, next time we play them, we got to come out better, man. We got to be ready for that game. And then we beat the Spurs, which is, not really, doesn't really balance out losing to this Heat the way we lost, and then coming back against the Spurs. We were supposed to beat the Spurs, you know what I mean? So right now, I would give these first 3 games, even though we beat the Nets and then we got smacked by the Heat, I would say this is maybe a C+. But a lot of that is due to the Heat loss, because before that first game, I would say that was a B+, A- type. But losing to, I can be hard, I can say regular season this and all that, but I'm just going off of the past where we struggled with the Heat, and it was pretty much you guys that watch these games against the Heat, we know how much the team struggles. And for me, man, I just think for us to be more comfortable as fans, we have to take those games a little bit more serious. Even though it's regular season, I think for the rest of we probably played them 3 more times this year. I think the rest of those games, man, we have to treat those like conference finals approaches. they're very, very serious, man. We can't mess around with them dudes. So that's the reason why my grade for the first 3 games dropped to a C plus, was because how horrible we played against the Bucks, or the Heat. But for the next couple games here on our schedule, we have the Pacers, which are 1-2, and then we have Timberwolves 2-0 surprisingly. Then we have the Spurs again, and then we close out the month of October with the game against the Jazz. So for me, man, I think we should definitely win these last 4 games of the month, and that will put us on a 5-game winning streak. That's my prediction, man. And then we can start probably in like another 3 or 4 games. I'll go ahead and do another recap for you guys, man. Thank y'all guys for tuning in. Any questions, comments, drop them down in the comment box, man. Let me know how y'all feel about these first 3 games and what you grade our Milwaukee Bucks so far in the season, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.